Oh, so now she wants to stop.
I'm muted.
Oh, who did it? Okay, everybody, what are you guys talking about? Yuki's here in the background.
That's squeaking. I'm so sorry.
No, we
she's
love
getting
Yuki.
it. Yuki's getting it tonight.
We love her. We love her. With that being said, I just want to start off by saying, welcome back. Welcome back.
Yay. Euphoria time. I love all the Euphoria time tweets. Euphoria day.
Yes, it's Euphoria. Well, Euphoria Day Part 2. The follow-up.
Yeah.
Gray, did you make our 10K or what? Did we get Rue go funded? Did we do
secured
it?
The bag.
We secured the bag for Rue.
The bag is secure.
Rue is safe, guys. And it's all thanks to Gray Area.
We're going to pay back that creepy lady.
Yeah. And then we're going to run. We're going to run so far.
We're going to run We're going to run just like Rue did.
Yeah.
But happy Valentine's Day. Should probably get that away to everyone and to my lovely ladies. I mean, Gray, we already said hi to you, but by the lovely Chloe, as always. Special Valentine.
XOXO. Yeah, you're getting caught right now by the girlfriends. Wow. Arah, whoa. No, I'm just kidding. We're a throuple, actually. We're a throuple. You know, just like the Maddy, Nate, Cassie throuple, it is us three, or the Rulesiet throuple.
Oh,
it's us.
Nate,
it's
Cassie.
So much mess to talk about. I want to start off by saying hi to everybody in the chat. I see we got Cool Gamer here. We got Kiri. Happy Valentine's Day to you. We got Anna. We got Courtenay Elder. Oh, I like your hat.
Courtenay.
Oh my God, I like your hat. Eliana. Hi, Eliana.
Hey, Eliana.
Look at the flying pug.
It's Eliana. That's what Eliana looks like. You've seen her. She was here last week.
Yeah,
she's cuter. I mean, she doesn't look like a pug. She's way cuter.
Well, maybe more of like a beautiful golden retriever or a black lab. I don't know. Whatever dog tickles your fancy. She's beautiful. She's very beautiful.
It's me. That's me.
We also have the Dragon Demands. Hello, I see Mina here. Here's Jessie, Betty Ross, Betty. I like that. Reminds me of Betty Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Oh my God, Betty Spaghetti. Betty Spaghetti Ross.
I love it. We got Vanessa. We got Alexis. Ooh, cool last name. But yes, happy Valentine's Day again. We have a lot to talk involving love, family, gups,
chaos.
A lot. So I guess let's start off. Overall thoughts.
I really like this episode. Really hate Nate. Really don't like Cassie a lot. Which is sad. I had such high hopes for Cassie, but
that bitch was so funny this episode.
No, she was actually pretty funny. She was pissing me off, but she was funny in a bad way.
Her mom was giving me life. Cassie's mom. She was giving me life.
Yeah. I'll say for me, I actually was really feeling the adults in this episode.
Oh, Nate's mom.
Like Marsha, I was gonna say Marsha. Like Marsha, Ali, Leslie, even Maddie's the woman Maddie babysits for, Samantha. Like,
I think she wants to bone Maddie.
I do too. But we'll get to that a little bit later with that, because I agree. But I was feeling like they were really giving the kids like obviously that adult perspective of their situations. They were kind of reading the children for filth a little bit, and I kind of like that.
Yeah. She like Nate's mom, I was liking her when she was like, "You choked that girl." And she was like, be careful. I don't want you to choke me. Like, she wasn't giving him a pass. But then when she was like, I was glad you did that to her. Like, bitch, you're glad your son is a woman beater?
Like, it wasn't just Cal that did this. You know what I mean? Like, you're part of him too, Marsha. And when she was like, and, you know, she really felt like someone who would keep a baby in spite, you know, to really make your life hell. I'm like, interesting, because it seems like you might actually have, which we predicted, that background yourself, Marsha.
I think I remember when we streamed after the episode for the episode where we did the cow flashback, and a lot of people were saying that Marsha reminded them of Maddy. Like when she was in the car.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I could see that. That and Pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah, she's projecting.
Yeah, and they say, most people don't like people that are like themselves.
Yes, especially in this show. Oh my god.
Yeah, nobody likes the person that's them at all.
There was something in like and I have two piggybacks. So like the first thing is there was something in the way that you see Leslie putting the work in for her daughter, right? Leslie putting the fucking work, which we're going to talk about, in and like trying to help Rue and save her daughter, where Cassie's mom was just like, I just want to fucking watch Millionaire Matchmaker, which true, like big mood, first of all, like big mood. I'm not arguing, like it's been all day. Cassie was doing, and here's the other thing, like the kids were actually kids a lot of the episode. Some of the episode, no, I'm like, Nate, put down the gun. But like, what is this, Rick from Degrassi? But the kids were actually kids. Like Cassie, the way Cassie, my fuck, I'm gonna cry laughing. The way Cassie was like peeking out of the hallway downstairs to see who was down there. You know, Cassie was running to her room, crying, sobbing into her pillow, and trying to somehow come up with in her head reasons why she was still right. And then she would run downstairs and be like, and here's another reason, Mom, that I'm still right, is because I'm not actually bad, Mom. And like, it was just the most teenage shit. A lot of the characters were teenagers again, which was awesome.
Oh, yeah. It was really refreshing. That's why when we get to that KEthan scene, I'm surprised that I'm going to throw Kat some bail, and you guys are probably going to be disappointed in me, but we'll get there. I actually wanted to start, since you brought up Lexi, that opening scene through, I feel like I keep saying this like every other episode, just gives Zendaya that booger. Like, let's give her the Emmy.
Here it is.
Yeah. She's so talented.
Fake. This is, and I present, this is Zendaya. This is easy for Emmy, which is a broken St. Michael.
This is the Euphoria Emmy that you can only get, and it's exclusive from the I Eat Zebra YouTube channel.
Yes, I present it to you. If anybody like this Cloud would like to accept on her behalf, your open invitation.
Yes, that is the friendly reminder that Angus Cloud, we want him to come on if you have time. If you're on the internet these days and you have some time, a little, extra energy, give a tweet, give an Instagram, be like, you got to get over to I Eat Zebra's YouTube channel. They've been asking for you, man. They've been asking for you.
Imagine his live tweet, but with on camera, and they're verbal. Ooh.
Imagine.
That was just a lot of moving around there. But back in all seriousness, that scene where she's kind of like struggling to open like the Jolly Rancher. Mm-hmm. The fact that she successfully opened it until she apologizes to Ali.
Yeah. It's that connection's so sweet. It's so sad because like, and again, yes, give her the Emmy, but she's like obviously portraying so well the feeling of being frustrated, and like whether it's because you're crippled from addiction currently, or whether it's like physical disability or emotional problems. Like she portrayed being unable to do the simplest task and how that can just break you down and shatter you. Like I've done some stress crying in the last couple months over stupid stuff. Today I almost cried over hairbands in my hair, elastics. Okay, like sometimes that happens, but like for everything she's been through and that scene of her sobbing over it, and then being able to apologize to Ali and being able to get forgiveness and know that like there is light. I felt hope for Rue a little bit this episode, which might have been misplaced because that's not what the show is. I don't know, but I felt hope.
I did as well. With one thing that got me, she brought up her mom and how her mom grew up in the church and how her mom kind of like relies on her faith a lot. Like she uses faith and kind of Gia as a support system. And now it's looking like Ali is gonna not only just be Rue's support system, but through this episode we kind of see him becoming a support system for the Bennett family itself. And part of me feels like because he doesn't want Rue to end up like him. He burnt those bridges with his family. Like when she's like called him like was it a woman beater and a crackhead, and she's like, I'm pretty sure his dog probably said something too. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have reduced him just that one moment. That wasn't cool. And he's like the only person she feels sorry about being an asshole to.
On like he's heard about it, but on another note, he's probably used to being lashed out at because he's a sponsor and he's been on this road for a long time. So he probably knew when it happened. Yeah, he was upset about it, but he probably knew it was more of the addiction than her like lashing out at him.
Yeah.
Not that that's okay, and I'm glad she apologized. She needs to go on an apology tour, actually.
Oh, she does.
She knows that, to be fair. She did say she wants to this episode, right? She's like, I just gotta get to rehab and fucking fix my fucking shit. And that's proving difficult, as we'll get to. But the Ali stuff is really like, I mean, he's been there. This is what he can give to her that no one wanted to give to him, right? Like he wants to give her that forgiveness and that chance that nobody would give to him and give him a second chance. And it's like, again, you know, Arah and I were discussing before this. I'm a little hormonal maybe, but I cried probably up until the kitchen scene, right? The kitchen scene was like the brevity I needed. I was like teary-eyed. I was like, that's so funny. Thank you. I needed that. I needed it so much. And then the Cassie scenes came and then I was like, this is the funniest show again ever. But was that kitchen scene and that closeness and intimacy that he shared. And like, I mean, that's the thing is now that's the relationship Ali will now have with her and her family. So when she fucks up next time, it's going to be a little different. I don't know how forgiving Ali can be next time and her family can be next time.
I'm actually glad you brought up forgiveness because there's this one quote that he says, in the minute he said it, I wrote it down because I was like, oh no, that's great. That's certain to come, so we forgive graciously. I was like, oh. Ooh, Ali. Ooh. What a quote. Absolutely right. Like, obviously he's been there and I feel like not only he's there for Rue to try to improve her, but he's also helping Gia feel validated in her feelings as well. And that kind of struck me the most with the scene. You know what? We're just gonna talk about all the Bennett household stuff right now, just because they're all. It's kind of like it's chopped up a little bit weird. But it's all the same dinner sequence.
Yeah.
So we'll just get all that out. But when he asked Gia, like, to help him like cook, I think he could just tell that somebody need to show her some love and some attention to. Obviously, it's a single parent household. Rue clearly needs a lot of parenting and attention, but he is getting lost in all that. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's and what he said, when he left, like, and pay attention to the little one. She's been waiting. She has been waiting, and that's like Rue said to Gia at the very end of the episode when they were in bed, like, I don't know anything about your life anymore, and I'm like, that's because you've consumed her life. You know what I mean? Like you took her childhood from her because your family was running after your addiction.
Yeah, and then figure the trauma she must have felt when she's the one who discovered Rue when Rue overdosed.
Yeah,
like she walked in on that. Like I couldn't probably maybe 13, 14 at that time when that happened. Maybe even like 15 tops, I'd imagine. But I couldn't imagine being that young and seeing older sibling in that condition. And then obviously, and Rui, I think it was episode something about pulling like a glass on her mom. So she has had to go through a lot of shit, and she's expected to like constantly forgive. And I feel like Ali telling her like, no, your feelings are valid. It's okay for you to be angry with her. And I think she really, and I'm glad that she finally got that, because obviously her mom's probably like, that's your sister, you gotta forgive her, it's the drugs talking, blah 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 blah. But at the same time, it's still hard for her.
Yeah, like you don't have to, is what Ali offered her. You know, like you can be angry and it will be healthier for you and for her. I mean, actions do have consequences, and relationships do kind of tend to unravel when all you can be is your addiction. You know, like it's part of it, yes, isn't her fault, but also part of it is. And it's hard for others to navigate around it every day. I mean, again, Gia's whole childhood, her teenagehood, you know, like even I really actually liked in season 1 when we got those scenes of her at the car, right, with all those other kids smoking pot, hanging out, being a kid, making her own mistakes, because she's never gotten to make her own mistakes. She's always had to be worried about Rue's mistakes instead.
Yeah. And we saw her be gaslit and manipulated by Rue earlier in the season, where Rue was like, oh, I'm going to smoke a little weed. And she knew it was a lie. So she is like, I've heard this all before. Don't really, not interested. Like, I'd rather, like, she's at the point where she wants to see results and not promises.
Yeah, all Rue is excuses, right?
Yeah.
That's all she's been giving her. And it's unfair. And like, also, I will add, can we talk about how fine Leslie was looking? Can we just?
Yeah.
She got a little pretty.
Do you suspect a romance possibly blooming between Ali and Leslie?
That's like, I think it was hinted at, right, when Ali first kind of got introduced to them, and there was that little bit of tension and flirting. I know Arah and I were like, wait a second when that happened. But now I'm like, is it going to happen? And what will that do to Rue?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that'd be really hard on her to, come home and your sponsor is making pancakes for your Faye because he slept with your mom.
Yeah.
Your lifeline's gone.
Because then it's like, if something goes wrong with the relationship with like the mom and him, it's kind of like, now what?
Yeah, and
you're still cutting out, Arah.
Oh, really? Oh, this is annoying.
Maybe sorry, pop out and pop back in.
Yeah, let me try that. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Hopefully this doesn't mess anything up.
We await.
We taken over her channel.
It's us now. It's all us. Oh my god. Well, we won't desecrate the channel's sake.
Yeah,
we'll be respectful. It's a temple, this channel.
Yes. I guess we could talk about while we wait for Arah to come back. Mina Ruth said, I always ship Rue's mama with Ali, but it would be complicated. I think it would be very complicated for Rue because she has most of her issues. Well, we saw like in season 1 that she had OCD and different things, like she had different mental disorders, but a lot of like what is going on with Rue stems from her losing her dad. So Ali trying to take that role with her, I don't think she would be very accepting.
We've seen that happen not well for Leslie's last guy she was dating. I mean, what was his name? He's so forgettable.
I didn't even remember she was dating someone.
I just remember being one episode who just giving him shit, and that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was gone after that. He was outie.
Yeah, I forgot. What'd she say? It was so mean.
I don't remember,
but not surprising.
Brew. Yeah, it was mean. It reminded me of. Have you guys ever seen Then and Now or Now and Then?
No, what is that?
It's like these 4 girls, and it's an older movie. Probably came out.
Oh, Christina Ricci.
Yeah, she's in it. And when the girl's mom gets a new boyfriend, they're all at the dinner table, and he's talking, and she's like, "You have shit in your teeth." It was like. It's like fuck everything you're talking about.
That was very it though. It was very frank. It was very matter of fact, and it was like, oh, because she was like, honestly, Rich or Rick. It was something like that. Exactly.
Yeah,
Rich or Rick.
Nicole's right.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thanks, Nicole. Yeah, she was like, Rick. Honestly, frankly, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't like you here. I don't like you sitting in my dad's seat trying to replace him.
Yeah.
At least she was upfront though, because she was like other kids would probably have made that a very slow hell.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I definitely was kind of like a Rue after my parents got divorced. So my mom started dating again. I was like, I don't know you, but I don't like you. This is my house. Like I was like super territorial.
I was the opposite. I was like, okay, 2 dads, 2 houses, nice. 2 Christmases, 2 birthdays. Fucking bitch.
See, my biological father left, right? And then I got a stepdad. So that was cool. But like I was Cassie. So I had abandonment issues.
Okay.
So I wasn't mean. I should have been mean. I should have been meaner. Maybe I should have taken that from y'all. I should have been exploitative and meaner.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Damn.
Not just because.
I mean,
I was just a sassy. I was a little major.
You're still kind of sassy. I'm just putting that on there.
A little bit. Yeah. A lot of it.
Yeah.
But I want to come back to the Faye bit. I lied to you guys. Sorry, changing course again. I actually kind of want to talk about it now because I'm listening. I'm like, why is that pee on the floor?
It would have dried a little and been thicker and grosser than that.
I mean, this was overnight, so like
maybe.
I'd
Why
hope
is
so.
there pee on the floor?
Like the fact that none of them cleaned it up. I mean, he did ask Aaron and Nate to clean it up, so that's on them.
They don't look like the type to be cleaning.
Well, and let's talk about that entire scene as is, right? Like, it's not just they don't seem the type to clean it up. When we open on the Jacobs family in the morning after Cal has left them, it is a party and a half. Marsha has a Bloody Mary in one hand, wine in front of her on the table. She's, cooking, smoking a cigarette. She's jamming. She's having the time of her life.
En Vogue.
Yeah, that's my jam. It's like, hey. Yeah, and Nate is kind of in the chaos, just like, okay. And Aaron's like, what the fuck has happened to this family? That's wild. I mean, that's the thing is like you look at Marsha and Sue's against Leslie in this episode, and you see like those two are in the deep end kind of. They're like, I don't fucking know. I'm just gonna get drunk and figure it out later. Where Leslie's like, I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. Very different scenarios and very different ways of handling them.
Yeah, and Marsha, like, me and Marsha have a roller coaster this weekend, this episode. Because at parts, I'm like, I like you. Then parts, I'm like, no. Mostly, like, you kind of brought it up earlier when she's like, after she asks Nate about like, oh, what's the deal with you and the blonde? And then Nate's like, oh, that's Maddy's, blah, 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 blah. And then she's like, oh, who's a cunt now? And
yeah, she's
I'm not alive. When she's like, oh, when you like grabbed her arm and pulled her away, I was like, yeah, that's my boy for your mom. But you went too far when you choked her. Oh, I didn't do that. And she's like, relax before you start choking me now, boy. But I knew what you did. But She's been like that though. She has been reading Nate for who he is. Like the first time he got accused, she's like, I know he did it.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, I don't know what you did to get out of it, but I know you did it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna lie. If you did call me a third, I would have liked my son to verbally defend me, not physically, but verbally. Like, don't talk to my mom. And I'd be like, yeah, but don't put your hands on people. Totes uncalled for, Nate.
Yeah.
I can't stand that boy. But also the fact that they both bonded over calling their Aaron dumb. I was like, y'all are so mean to Aaron. What Aaron do to anybody besides just exist? Like, Cal hates Aaron because he's like the trap baby. Then I don't know why Nate hates Aaron so much. What did he do?
Yeah.
To Nate.
One thing while you're talking about Marsha, I wanted to point out, Chloe kind of touched on this, is one thing that like really makes Euphoria good is that they don't just hone in on the different types of kids and teenagers and things like that. They also show the different types of parents.
Absolutely.
Like Marsha, Leslie, Cassie's mom, Fez's grandmom. Like we get to see like how these children not came to be this way, but how they're being parented. I think it's really good. But to what you were talking about, I don't know why they don't like Aaron. Or I don't know what Aaron's problem is. But also the family photo, I don't know if we talked about it.
We have all season, and I want to know.
Maybe that's why they're mad at Aaron. Aaron's responsible for the missing. I don't know. All I know is I just continue to point out it's indefinitely not Ashtray. I do not like that theory.
Is that a theory?
Yes.
It's theory. I've been asked it multiple times.
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. It makes zero sense. Like, when were Cal and Marsha ever that serious of drug addicts that they're offering a baby to Kitty?
Also, they would have put him up before the photo was taken because of how young he was when we saw him in the flashback. So they were like, what if we picked him up for a hot second for a family photo and then we just dropped him back off at the drug house? Goodbye.
Yeah.
That's not. But
no.
But I do want to say, were you guys also waiting when she was like, I just don't know what happened. What was wrong with you? At 8 to 9, you just turned mean. I'm like, are you going to tell him he killed his brother? Because that would make sense why he's so mean and fucked up, right? Like, is that why?
Yeah.
I don't know. I assume it's probably like some Cal physical abuse or something.
Actually, season 1, Nate 8 or 9 years old when he first discovers Cal's DVD collection.
He was a little older. He was 11, I thought.
He?
Yeah, it was 11. I thought so too, because I went back and I was like, I bet it's the CDs. Maybe it is, and maybe they're just off because they were off on Fezco's age a couple of years, you know, this season to make Lexi and Fezco work. So maybe they just like fudged the numbers a little, and maybe she's just being general. Yeah. But I was waiting for it. I was like, are you about to be like, don't you remember, sweetheart?
Mm-hmm.
Did you kill the other brother?
Little Tommy. I don't know his name. Tommy is not his name. I just threw that out there, guys. But whatever his name is.
Aaron's like sitting at the table, like low-key looking kind of depressed. And they're all like drinking and shit. And I think it's because like Aaron was so clueless when it came to his dad, like what his dad was doing. And Nate knew. And I think Marsha knew too.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what she says. She goes,
says.
She doesn't answer it, though. He goes, you knew. Did you know? And she goes, did you? I'm like,
yeah.
Yes. Because she's like, I looked at you and she's like, I looked at you and your brother's face. And your face was very diz.
Eliana said Nate's parents aren't the best. So they might have gotten the ages wrong.
Yeah, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
She's kind of drunk. She might have forgot.
The mom that doesn't know their child's birthday. It's your birthday today?
Honestly. That reminds me of those videos of those parents who are like, dads, like, oh, when's your kid's birthday? And they're like, I don't know. And the kid's like, my birthday was 2 days ago, type of shit. That's what it sounds like
No, but that's really a thing. Like, there are so many dads, like, when they bring their child in to be seen, they don't know their birthday.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know your child's birthday?
When you just brought up dads, I just wanted to get into a thing that Marsha said about Cal for a moment. When she was telling me, how did you inherit all of the worst parts of your dad? And the fact that even Cal said the same exact thing. So I'm so inclined to believe Nate has some type of hand to do with that third child's like death. It was an accident. Like, oh, have you guys been watching Peaker?
No.
Oh, dang. Well, if anybody hasn't seen the most sort of Peacemaker, I don't want to spoil it, but there's a actual oopsie daisy with brothers, and I'm wondering if something like that kind of happened with Nate. Like it was purely an accident, because they always bring up his anger and how much rage he has, and like obviously we see that how he like kind of lashes out on everyone, what he did at the end of the episode, stupid punk. But I feel like he did something to that boy. Sam, if you need any ideas, just ask us, but we'll help if you need some ideas for season 3. We're here.
We're ready.
We're here to help write about what happened to the missing Jacob's child, because that family is a hot ass mess.
For real,
like a hot ass mess. And I actually question: why do you think she likes Cassie more than Maddy? Or is it just simply because it's just not Maddy? Because I talked for her to even have an opinion.
Yeah, Cassie's very pliable. She's very gullible. She's like Play-Doh in teenage girl form, right? Like maybe she sees her as a easier wife. Like she knows that she wasn't a fucking easy wife. She knows she didn't make life easy for Cal, as she alluded to in this very episode. So like, I don't know. I imagine she sees Cassie as someone very pliable, conservative, submissive towards Nate that would, be a good role model wife for him and give him many children and feed them all at her teat, and then make sure she shows up and is nice at parties and nice dresses with her nice blonde hair. I mean,
yeah. And as we could see, that Cassie is very, I don't know, kind of like you said, she's like very pliable. She's willing to kind of be whatever the person that she wants. Like, how do I put it? Like if someone's her and they want her to look a certain way, she's going to change herself to appear to be what they want. And as we kind of saw from the trailer from next week, sorry.
And previous weeks, I mean, with her
in previous weeks,
similar outfits.
That's when her and Maddy came in wearing the same outfit in different colors. It was so funny. Oh, Cassie.
I really can't with Cassie.
You know what? We're here. Let's get into it. Let's talk about her.
Can we please? Can we?
She's so 17 years old.
She is, and
someone else can go.
Part of me feels bad for her, and part of me doesn't. So the part of me that feels bad for her is, at this point, we know who Nate is, and she's completely isolated. She's completely isolated from her friends, her family. Like, she is very, 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 very vulnerable. Probably the most vulnerable she's ever been. And she has no one in her mind. She has no one but Nate. So she's lost her friends at the expense of, her actions with Nate. So she probably feels at this point like she needs to hold on to him.
Yeah.
Like she's moved in with him. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of ridiculous, right? Like, that's where I'm like, okay, like when Sue sat there and let Cal fucking speak to Cassie and Lexi that way, right? I was like, and then Sue's obviously like okay, when I was 19, I moved out of my mom's house because they wanted to move 3 hours north to a dead-ass podunk fucking BFE fucking town where I was like, I'm never going to make friends here. I'll have nothing in common with them. And fuck that place. And I'll never go to college there. And I'll never move to this tiny-ass place. And I just, like, moved out with some guy I was dating. So, like, that was 19. Okay, so Cassie's 17. She's not too far off, but she's not emotionally mature like I was. I was very smart, very wise, okay? I want us all to know how wise I was at 19. Not at all. Not one bit. I still don't know shit, but like now it's different because I know I don't know shit. You know what I mean? I'm much wiser because of that. But then I thought I knew shit. So like obviously Suze was like, okay, let's see how this goes. At least I know you'll get fed there. So like part of me is like, Suze, what the fuck? But part of me also is like, I get it. I do. I'd probably do similar. But
Suze
she's
just wants to be a millionaire matchmaker.
Yeah, that's a mood too. I just want to watch Inventing Anna at least one more episode tonight, so I feel that. But like,
love that show. Shout out to that.
So good. I have one episode
I still have to
left.
watch it.
One episode left.
It has Ruth from Ozark, who's the main.
Yeah, it's got Jennifer Garner. Yeah, Miss Maniacs herself. It's real good.
Yeah,
but
check it out.
Jenny of Oldstone just brought up a great point too, though. Like Cassie's abortion, that's a huge plot point and really plays into her psyche. She's been nothing but shattered since season 1. It's just been trauma porn to murder Cassie's innards.
I wanted to point Z's comment out, and I'm glad you said that. That was Z. This was back in my head as soon as it popped up. I think what Marsha was saying about Maddy getting pregnant out of spite was a misdirect for Cassie doing that. Yes, because if she's already terminated one, the odds of a second one, especially in the state she's in, if she were to get pregnant by Nate,
unlikely. So if it happens, yeah, I mean that's like a miracle baby.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
She's not gonna do that again, I don't think. And also it kind of hints at like the possibility of her being pregnant. They have that whole fucking episode 2 thing where it's like a whole montage of Cassie pregnant.
Oh yeah, when he's having like the like Nate's dream sequence, like his fantasy.
Yeah,
I could see it. I could.
Poor fucking
I don't want, but I could. But one thing I want to point out with Suze that I thought was very interesting is when she tells Lexi, like she gathers all the knives and she's like, "Go hide these in the bushes," and Lexi's like, "I don't think she's like that type of person." Like, do what I say. And then later on, we see Cassie with a corkscrew. She's like, it's not. And she's like, oh God, give me the.
She was doing this thing the whole episode, you know, where teenagers add like a 8th syllable to words that don't need an extra syllable, where they're like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, it was so classic teen. Like I heard me and my mom getting into it. I heard us fighting in my head. The scream every time Sydney Sweeney was on screen. I was like laughing my ass off last night in the best way. Again, they are teenagers. It's hard to remember that because usually they're like fucking, blackmailing, stealing, drugging, whatever they're doing. But like I was sitting there like, oh, you are 17 years old. You're graduating next year.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Not at the rate that you guys don't go to school anymore. But
yeah,
I mean,
why is nobody ever in school?
I was gonna say for Cassie, like what is super fucking irritating when it comes to Cassie is kind of like what her mom said about like stop like finding excuses of why you're right. Like you fucked your best friend's ex-boyfriend. She and I remember one of the episodes when she was like, you guys weren't together, you were broke up for such and such many days, and Nate's like, that's only like a fact that you care about, like no one else is gonna care about that. And it's true, like at the end of the day she was trying to use that to justify fucking with him, knowing that she never should have fucked with him, but she just won't say sorry, I'm so sorry. But she has to be like, I'm sorry, but like she has to somehow paint herself as like a victim in this scenario, and it's just not working for me.
Yeah, I agree with you in this comment from Mom Mary. Cassie's totally trying to manipulate her family to feeling sorry for her. She isn't ever gonna hurt herself. I agree, especially where like what MJ was just saying. It was just saying she was trying to make it seem like she wasn't a bad person. Like she's trying to validate her actions rather than taking accountability and realizing no is wrong. That's why I like when Susan's like, it doesn't matter. It's the principle of what you did. You don't do that. And she's like, I wouldn't do that to somebody I love. And it's like, well, sweetheart, I did.
Do you think that Rue owes Cassie an apology?
No.
But
like Cassie owes Rue an apology for that shit talking, even though I'm torn on it a bit because I am not going to sit here and undermine Cassie's trauma. I'm not doing that. I've been seeing a lot of that online. And the difference with Cassie and Rue is how they cope with those traumas. Rue uses drugs. For us, it's visibly a bigger issue because we see how that affects her. She's a lot of it internal depression. This whole thing with Nate, that's like that quote that Samantha said, like the wrong person giving the attention.
Yes.
Like, I had it written down. I'll bring it up later.
At the right time. At the right time.
Yeah.
The right amount of attention, just the right amount of attention at the right time.
And that is what it is.
Wrong time or whatever.
Like that is exactly what it is. Like it doesn't mean it's not a shitty thing for her to do. And she needs to own that part of it. She does. But like she doesn't get that yet. She's going to. I mean, she's going to have to learn from this as a foundational experience for her whole entire adult existence, right? Like this is your big main character of the day event, Cassie, of your teenage years. You're going to remember this when you're 33. You're going to sit there and go, shit, I was a dumb bitch. You might still be a dumb bitch then, but the thing that I think the most of it is like, I mean, like, but beyond that part of it is like, it's interesting that no one's like, you know, Nate was the other half that was fucking her, right? Like that was the other part.
Yes.
Wasn't McKay supposed to be his BFF when McKay was still there before college?
Yeah.
So there is a double standard.
That part. They're both pieces of poops.
I mean, we know he's a shithead. We know he's a shithead.
I think they expect it from Nate. Like they didn't expect it from Cassie.
Right.
But Kat apparently did.
Yeah, Kat's like, she just looked like the type that would fuck your boyfriend. I screamed when she said that. But
I screamed when she said the brain terminal illness shit.
We need to talk about that. Yeah.
Actually, let's just talk about it right now. Let's talk about it right now. Can I just
ladies.
I just had a really interesting quote that someone once said to me, even though it's kind of like situations are slightly reversed a little bit. But this fella I was communicating with back in my youth, fancy way of saying some guy I was dating. I remember one day we were like on the phone talking because back, when, free calls after 9:00. Messages after, no limited text messaging back then. So we had to talk on the phone. But I was hanging friends in person, but he had called. I had called that the other way around. So we were like having conversation back hanging out. And I still to this day remember him saying, if you're going to be around somebody, focus on who you're talking to. So if you're going to call somebody on the phone, your attention needs to be there. You should probably try to like not brush off other people in your presence. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And same thing, like if you're in person with people, and I also say we were at summer camp. These were my roommates. It's not like I was at my friend's house and I was just on the phone with a guy. It was bedtime. It made sense then. Sorry, I should have gave more context. But it kind of reminded me of like this situation with Ethan and Kat, where she should be giving her attention to Ethan. It shouldn't be on the phone with Maddy. That's not the appropriate place for that conversation, especially when you made him skip rehearsal for the shit. You made him skip rehearsal and listen to you just chat on your phone talking about how Cassie sucks. Totally unfair.
I mean, it's a pattern with Kat. Like even when he took her on a date bowling, she invited Maddy and Jules. to the date to like kind of third wheel. And I feel Kat's story is going nowhere. Like season 1, Kat was my favorite. Like one of my favorites. And then this season is just like her scenes are pointless. Like pointless, and they all are about Ethan.
Yeah, it makes me wonder what got scrapped. Because at this point, in my opinion, the rumors are looking very substantiated now that we're at episode 6 in the season, and Kat went from a major character to a minor character.
Yeah,
that took 6 episodes to break up with Ethan. I feel like Kat season 1 would have had this done by episode 2, maybe
like
3.
Her whole OnlyFans journey
Gone. Dropped. Nothing meant anything. It's
or at least like not even a nod to it. Like, well, there was that scene where she does look at the mask, where when dream sequence, and she's like she stares at them, but there's nothing comes up from there. We have 2 more episodes to see what happens, but
well, maybe she stopped doing that whole thing because she's dating Ethan. Yeah, and maybe that's why she's sad.
I think so.
I mean,
or
I think
unsatisfied or unfulfilled.
I'll say I do think it's her brain disorder. It's called depression. First of all, and it does kill people.
It does feel terminal.
I felt that's exactly what I said in my notes. She's like, I have a terminal brain disorder. I was like, oh, depression. This is just a fancy way of saying depression.
Yeah.
Well, not fancy. It's kind of an asshole way of saying it, because it's like she could have been a little bit more upfront.
Well, and so a couple weeks ago, Arah and I had there was a little bit of gossiping happening here on the show about, just some things that have happened beyond the scenes. Who knows what's true or not? We could only circulate rumors. Were they real? Were they not? We don't know. That, Kat's actress Barbie did not like what she was given at the start of the season. And so a lot of it was scrapped and a lot of it was not rewritten. That's a fact. That's out in the air, and that's a fact. Now, the nature of what that plot was may or may not have been some sort of body image related plot, maybe some sort of eating disorder kind of plot, something that Barbie herself is like super against.
Yeah.
Like she's very body positive. That's been her whole thing, her shtick forever. So like it's really hard impartially to judge any of the Kat plot this season, knowing that in my mind, like knowing deep in my heart of hearts that none of it fucking matters, because whatever, like that's hard. From one standpoint, like it's totally Great Depression hours, right? Like where you just don't know the last day you showered. All you want to do is eat to nourish your body and like stare into a computer screen when nothing means anything and just like get through it, right? Like and just get through to the next day and wake up, and then you're like 3 weeks later, you're like still don't know when I showered and everything's horrible and exhausting. And the people you love, like and again, it's another form of like showing what Rue's doing, right? Like you still love the people that you love. In your heart, you still have love for these people, but there's something else that takes hold of you and you can't fight it off. So like from that aspect, it's a good plot in that aspect. Like her ruining that relationship in the way she did was the most teenage bullshit. We all have a story like this, right? Yeah. Of where we dumped the person that was kind of a little, more maybe into you than you were into them for whatever reason was going on, and you really broke their heart, ruined their life, but they probably got married over it, so they'll live. But I got like 4 of those. They all got married. Congrats, Justin Spencer. Have a good one, Colin Cromwell.
Yeah. I hope you guys like and subscribe. But I was gonna say, actually, in the behind the scenes, like the inside Euphoria things that they do, Barbie, it seems like Kat was having an internal fight between what she wants versus what she craves, and I kind of brought that up like a few weeks ago, where it's like Kat obviously is very dominating personality. I mean, she kind of was like a dominatrix for a bit when she was doing her like sex work. So I think not only that, but she's getting like all the money she was getting from that, going shopping and getting random nice things from her Amazon wish list. And Ethan, I don't know if he has a part-time job. Can he fulfill her Amazon wish list? No.
I don't know, but even like the empowerment that she was getting from that, like she was most of the empowerment and growth that she had in season 1 was because like she just owned who she was. She had so many fans, and it's like, so you like stopped writing smut. You're not doing that anymore. You're not OnlyFansing and camming anymore. So I feel like maybe there's a void. Maybe she wants to do more of that, especially when they did that like whole scene with like Khal Drogo. Shout out to Khal Drogo, where they did like that whole thing where it's like I feel like Ethan might be very vanilla when it comes to what she wants.
I think that's what it is too. I think she likes to walk on the wild side a little. Because figure she was having like she had what virginity last season. It was like recorded in industry. And I love the way she told the principal off. And she's like, actually, what she did to the principal is exactly what she did to Ethan. Like, oh, you're just gonna assume it's me? Why? Because they're bigger? Oh, wow, that's easy. That's messed up. And it's like, but it is. And kind of this thing with Ethan where it's like, you're trying to break up with me. Why don't you just say you want to break up with me? And she's like, well, that was your experience. But from my experience, you're kind of just invalidating like my illness.
I do
gaslighting.
Girl, gaslighting 101.
There's so much good stuff there too of like with weight and body image and how we conceive ourselves, and how for her losing her virginity to those guys was like getting rid of the weight. That was the weight on her left. Like she couldn't get rid of everything else about herself, but she could get rid of that one problem about herself right then and there. And like then the way that she covered it all up was so insane, so intense. She went around like deleting it from the internet. She's like, nope, that's gone, until she realized, wait, I could be making money off of this. People are jacking it to me and I should be making money. And maybe not the plot I would choose for my 16-year-old daughter, Kat, one of my several daughters from this show. I do have the adoption papers. They're in the back room if you want me to get them out. But it's not the plot I would have chosen for her if she was really my daughter. But it's a pretty fun thing. And it is a very, like, the depression is one way to say, oh, it's the depression. But it's just obvious something was taken out here. Something's missing. There's something missing.
This is the one. Here's Jesse. I wonder if they pay out that plot line of the anonymous person who knows Kat was when she was doing her cam girl work. Yes, like that was like the last kind of client she had. And after that, she started feeling uncomfortable. And then you could try to tell us that's when she started having racism on it. And then Ethan comes in and is like, I like you. We should date. I hope if one of gets, it's just me. And
I think she's going back to it.
I think absolutely. So, it would make sense if they did back into something similar in next season. We skipped it this season where she was probably trying to actually be committed, and I don't know, for her maybe that felt like that was maybe not what she probably thinks Ethan wouldn't understand that. Mm-hmm. Just like the type to be like, yeah, babe, go ahead, get your pay pigs.
Yeah,
like he doesn't seem like that kind of guy.
I also wonder with Kat, is it somewhat of an addiction? Like, is the cam work like
it's attention?
Kind of
it's like Cassie. It's just a different translation of it, right? It's the same thing as Rue and Cassie in a different way. And I think it comes from body image, especially, and attention. Like growing up thinking you're ugly or like bad looking in certain aspects. Like I didn't know I was hot till I was 18. And boy, did I miss out on some fruitful fucking years. Okay. Like I could have been making out like crazy.
Same.
Now I'm like, damn, I'm 19. I didn't know how hot I was then. I look at pictures. I'm like, bitch, you were so fine. But like that's the thing is like
You still are.
that. Well, thank you. I know, but that's life though, right? Like that's the thing is like
Yes.
I'm past that now. You know, like that middle year where you're like, now I'm ugly and I'm not hot like I was when I was 19. Now I'm like, bitch, I'm so hot. Suck my fat roll in your mouth. But when you're 16, 17, and this is something like I do, and I will give Cassie this too, especially with her background. Like, you don't have good relationships. You don't have that foundation. Ethan is a sweet boy and he's going to move on. It looks like he's moving on a little too fast, in my opinion, in the trailer for next week where he's touching Lexi, where I'm like, excuse me, that's Fesco's girl. So I'd like you to sit down, Ethan.
Yeah, as much as I say that they're endgame, I don't actually want that to really happen.
Right.
But-
and when you're young, you need to get experience. Like, you're not going to be good at dating if you've never dated.
Yeah, I actually, they were kind of reminded the line Marsha said when she's like, oh, don't end up marrying somebody from high school, or don't settle with somebody from high school. No offense to anybody that's like a high school sweetheart.
One in a million. You're very lucky.
I do not. I management as a teenager was awful. It was so bad. It's so bad. It was so bad. It was so bad. Would never. Nah. With Marsha, get some life experience, and as MJ would say, if it's true love, it will find its way back to you.
Exactly. No, that's
so corny.
True. That's true.
I'm so.
You
corny.
said that in our preposterous. Oh yeah. Shameless plug right here. And our preposterous Valentine's Day special, you said that. And I was like, oh, that's so cute.
I kind of feel sorry for the showrunners because I'm reading Eliana's comments.
One runner. Let's just
Showrunner.
back it up. One runner, one writer.
Sure. I kind of feel sorry for him because, like, you have a lot of, if the rumors are true, there's a lot of drama between the cast. So Jules and Rue hate Jacob and like don't want to film with him, and then Kat hates her storyline, so you got to change all that. And I wonder if anyone else hates each other. I'll tell you who doesn't hate each other: Lexi and Fez.
Yes. Okay. And I agree with Jenny of Old Stones. Lexi and Fez should have been making out on that couch. Maybe they
He's
did
a
that.
gentleman.
He is a gentleman. I agree, Gray.
They helped
Arah, would you just put it away? You are always throwing your cat out here when it comes to Fesco and Lexi, and just it's a slow burn. It's a slow burn with their clothes on for now.
She looked like Lexi looked like she was about to cry.
Yeah, she's fucking in love.
Yeah.
I'm in love too.
Me too. I'm just glad that she was like, yeah, to her mom and Cass, like, y'all are pissing me off. Go hang out my drug boyfriend and watch Stand By Me. As he tells me my play is gonna be great.
Yeah.
Oh, that scene, I'm not gonna lie. I sang along with them. I cried a little bit. Actually, there's two songs that play in this episode that actually like Stand By Me. There's a bachata version that me and my husband danced to at our hour. It wasn't like an official dance. It came on, but there's like there's a lot of video shower people recording us dancing to it. I saw that was like Fez and Lexi's song. Like,
Lexco.
Meant to be.
My babes, my baby.
It's like, so you know how we're saying like Ethan and Kat was like, just treading water of bullshit for a while, and it was like it doesn't do anything for them as people. They're not advancing. It's the exact opposite for Lexco. Like, Lexco is going to last for half a heartbeat. It's going to be over before we know it. It's going to be tragic. It's going to be horrible. He's going to go to jail or die. Lexi and him are going to have to not be together. Lexi is going to be heartbroken and have to run into baby boy Ethan's arms. It's all going to be awful and traumatic for me, for you, and for Lexi. And like, I just have to say that like, it's going to be so formative for her though, like that she's learning this relationship and not to judge books by the cover, and like that all people can be, like have a good heart and be good people, blah, blah, blah. And people actually do care about her, and she's going to actually have self-esteem. She's going to become a senior next year. She's going to live her life. She's going to be a great director. She, Sofia Coppola are going to like hang out, eat pastrami.
I love that.
I have like this I think the whole Stand By Me thing was an Easter egg.
Stop saying yes.
And I think that Fez is probably gonna get arrested for. I don't see how Fez could get arrested for killing Mouse because Fez didn't fucking kill Mouse. Ashtray killed
Ashtray
Mouse.
did.
Yeah, but
he'll take the charge for Ashtray.
He'll take the charge for Ashtray.
But now that you mentioned it, I'm sorry, Ashley, say what you were gonna say before I cut you off. That was mean.
I think that Lexi's gonna stand by him like throughout trial, write him letters and stuff to jail. All that.
Could be pen pals.
Visit him at the jail, all that shit.
I would love that.
Put money on his commissary. She's gonna be a ride or die Lexi.
I want that.
You're so cute, Gray. Gullible dumb bitch. I love you. You know this isn't fucking Sunshine World. That ain't
no. I mean, that's not Sunshine though. Like that's a very miserable.
It is
life.
So
Faye ruined that shit though, y'all.
I was gonna bring up Faye. So
oh, she jelly hard.
So that's what I'm trying to like, because that look she gave them looked like a look of it was like, girl, you just came from talking to your boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Fez gave you a sandwich. You stay in his home. You better tell them that homie is cooperating with the police, and it does sound like time he comes over, he's coming over with a wire on.
It's gonna be too late.
I think she's gonna tell them.
I think she'll tell him too late.
Oh, what if? All right, so how he's like, next time I come over, I say some stuff. Just stay out of it. What if
she stays in it?
Stays in it and exposes him and rats him out. I would live for that. He's wearing a wire.
Faye to me gives off I don't fuck with the police vibes, and now you're a rat. So
yes, because she kept saying that, like the look she gave him, like when he's like,
you're cooperating. You're cooperating. So you're cooperating.
Can we just like talk about how that's literally what it means? He's like, well, I'm helping them. You stupid bitch. What the fuck?
Oh, and she's like, oh, and he's definitely full of crap when he's like, oh, they were on Ashtray and Fez's tail. Doubt it.
No.
Yeah. I also don't
your tail because his baby mama probably is like the last person he was with, this guy. And then you told them.
Yeah. I also think Ashtray and Fez might not fall for that shit.
Yeah, I think they're not that stupid. You're right on that. Like, they're not stupid. They know. And that guy is fucking shaky and shoddy as hell.
Yeah, he just seems like a good actor.
Now, just like turning it back around to Stand By Me with what you said, Gray. Stand By Me is all about their search for a dead body. Right? Which was like very apparent to me. I'm like, oh, right. Like the whole time those boys are going to go find that dead body. And so later on, you know, in the jump forward, Chris, one of the main characters, if you haven't seen Stand By Me, what are you doing?
I haven't seen it, but
okay. Well, I'm going to spoil it.
Spoil away.
Brace yourself.
Oh, so good. I mean,
so these like four childhood friends, they go to find this like rumored dead body. They meet up with people. They learn in the long run. They're like, maybe this is a bad idea to exploit this body and try to like get the reward and get the fame for it and like get acknowledgement. It was just an adventure as like a child, you know. Well, later on, flash forward, of the four, one of them dies, right? Chris dies. He attempts to break up a fight in a restaurant and he gets stabbed to death. And so they're all like, oh, that's so sad, we'll miss him. And I'm just like,
If I'm not mistaken, River Phoenix's character too.
Yes, that is River Phoenix's character. So I'm like, you better not kill Fezco, because if you do, I riot. Sam Levinson, look, we already have to talk, Samuel Levinson. You and I need to talk about what you're doing to Cassie and Kat this season. You will suffer for your crimes, the crimes of Sam Levinson. But if you do this to Fezco, and if you do this to Lexco, which I just want to defend. A lot of people like Fexi, which is fine, but Lexco is smoother. It puts Lexi first, which is most important, and it puts her on top, which is also important.
Yeah.
Yeah,
mean,
I
she's
like
gonna be making the
Lexco
big
better than
bucks.
Fexi.
Also, I did want to point out, Mon Mary brought up this good point. Ashtray definitely saw that Faye was acting weird and was on the rain too long to just be taking out the trash. That, and then Nina brought up this other point. Let's get that she pushed the hotel manager off the balcony too, and the police are probably still looking for her.
Yeah.
So she is also wanted for murder.
Faye
So
is a ride or die bitch. She is not with that cooperating shit. And Fez gave her half of his sandwich.
Right. And then like when she like fell after shooting up in her coochie, he brought her in bed and gave her a blankie. He's such a sweetheart.
Yeah, but that's the problem because that look was pointed. She did look at Lexco. She was like, why isn't that me watching Stand By Me? I've watched movies with Fez. He's never held my hand. They watched Invasion of the Body Snatchers together. Yeah. I'm just saying that she looked real, but I do think I think she'll come clean, but I think it's going to be too late. I really think it'll be like just too late. I think it'll be like she tells them like, I'm sorry, I should have told you earlier. Because it is conflicting. Like, that's her boyfriend, and he has... I mean, you want to talk about Cassie and fucking Jules and Rue and all these, like, defense mechanisms. Let's talk about Faye, right? Like, she has been around. We haven't seen the background, but it's there. Like, it's obvious where the background is on her character and, like, what she's done and seen. And, like, that manager that was getting a little too close, a little too awful to her that she toppled over and murdered, like, she might cooperate for protection because she's wanted. I mean, you get to a certain point of running where you want protection. Rue came home. Rue wants protection. Everyone wants home and safety and fucking sanctuary.
What's the dude's name? Her boyfriend?
Custer?
Custer?
Something like that.
Custer can't protect her. Fez is protecting her.
I agree, but no one's going to protect Fez is the problem. Because who would protect him? Lori?
Noah, I just thought of, is the fact that Custer probably started snitching when they arrested him for covering up for Faye.
Oop, there it is. And it's over. It's all, I mean, that's the thing is like, this is when he told her that like they've been chased, it's probably because of him.
Oh, it's absolutely, he gave him up because he's probably taking a deal. Like, yeah, well, I know someone who's done something worse. Which is unfortunately how a lot of people get in and out of jail.
Let's change Custer's name to Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah,
Custer 6ix9ine.
Custer 6ix9ine, he definitely is. But what I was gonna say with Ash, the one time Ashtray does not have vigilance, the worst time to piss in history. It's like the exact opposite of like Blackfish in Game of Thrones in the Red Wedding episode.
Yeah.
That is the best time to piss in history. Ash took the worst time to piss in history.
Well, for the Blackfish, that's probably the best time to piss in history.
Oh, yeah. The opposite. Yeah.
Blackfish had the best time to piss in all of history. But Ash was like super into the Girls Gone Canon Discord. He was like heavy in there. And he's like
out there.
Oh my gosh, I gotta go to the bathroom. It's just too much. And then
it was kind of funny that it was perfectly framed. Like, it's obviously Samuel wanted us to laugh about it and be like, what the fuck? No. Because, like, obviously, the one time Ashtray's not ready with the bazooka to pop someone's ass off, you know? Poor Cal J. Man, I feel for Cal this much. Because
Cal's probably like, I just got my ass beat by a 12-year-old.
Shit.
Maud Mary says, I need to know who is in the locked room at the drug dealer lady's house. What if it's Mouse? What if Mouse isn't dead?
Gray, why are you doing this?
That'd be the
why are you like this? Why are you this
I would love that. Mouse pops back up. What's up, guys?
What if it's
He's
the
Jacob?
It's the third Jacob's child.
Ooh.
She kidnapped it.
She showed up.
That bitch is scary. The fact that she hot shot Rue with morphine, and she planned to do it.
Yes, it was so scary. That lady scares me. And I'm glad she wasn't in this episode.
Agree. I needed a break. I need a break. She terrifies me, and I feel like she's gonna come in at the finale and do some real wild boy stuff and leave us on a cliffhanger.
What are your theories though of who's in that locked door?
A cautionary tale for Rue.
They've zoomed in on it a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's a cautionary tale, if anything.
People that are held against their will to sell coochie.
Because they didn't pay for their $50K suitcase. People that took a $50K suitcase and didn't pay it instead of the $10K.
Yeah.
And didn't pay it. Like, Rue got off easy, is what it sounds like. I mean,
and again, she didn't get off. She still owes
I'm wondering if
2,000.
Yeah, 10,000 and 2,000 she gave her. No, she gave her 3, didn't she? Wasn't it 3?
Well, 2,000 in cash, and she estimated. But what the hell does Rue know about the value of gold?
Yeah, and she was like, "You got to take this jewelry. Like, this is not a pawn shop."
Yeah, good for her on that. Because I mean, same. Like, give me bills or give me nothing, bitch.
Right.
But don't fucking buy your drugs in crypto. What the fuck is this? Listen, you Elon Musk motherfucker, sit down.
That'd be so funny. Oh, Rue. Oh, Rue. Lori scares the shit out of me. But actually, know who? Speaking of people that I think are old, on the low. I want to talk about Samantha.
Yes,
that is the woman that Maddy works for.
First of all, she has a camera, so she knows Maddy's been trying on her shit.
I don't think it's malicious, though. I really don't
blame her. First of all, that closet is expensive as hell. Yeah. And if I seen one of my drawers not in position left it in, I'm installing mayonnaise. I'm sorry.
But I think she likes watching Maddy try her shit. I think she wants Maddy.
That too. I think she's trying to seduce her into some type of because that hand stroke she did after she's like, unzip my dress. Actually, the dress that she has Maddy unzip is if I'm not mistaken, is the same dress we tried on this episode.
Yes. The purple one at the start. It's the same exact dress. Yep. I don't know. I've seen that floating around, right? Like if they're like hooking, like they want to throuple it, like us 3, they want to have a throuple like us. That's the true throuple. But I don't think so. I think it was more like, because remember earlier we had that drawer left open. I think it's just repercussion from the drawer being open. And so like the shot, a really beautiful shot. There's some great shots in this episode between that shot, the later horrifying shot of the split screen of Nate and her, the shot of like Cassie's vanity empty and Lexi looking at it sadly with no flowers, like that beautiful shot of the flowers. That was great. But this shot was like great because Maddy was walking up the glass hallway to leave her area, which she already knew that Maddy was leaving the area. Sorry. Whoa. She knew Maddy was leaving that area because she probably saw it on the camera, probably checked into the app in the car and went, I bet. Because when she texted her, it felt more like a warning to me. Yeah. It was like, be there in 15 minutes because she knows. And then she tells her like, hey, I've been a young girl. I've yearned for shit. I've wanted things. I get it. And I mean, that's the thing is like, I like now that I'm an adult, I bought a Prada bag a little bit ago. That's real nice. Ooh. I got it at a deal. I got it at Poshmark. Gotta love Poshmark. But like, I got a good deal on it. But it's like some beautiful black leather shit, and it's like beautiful. It's like you stroke it, and you're like, oh, I am someone now. I own something now. I have assets. I have leather, Italian leather. I have Prada, and like. It's a powerful feeling, and Maddy is probably feeling pretty powerless, especially after what later happens. So, like, the talk she has with that boss about it, especially that they don't bring the dude that her boss is married to back in, like, it's just with her. I don't think it's malicious. I think it's fun to, like, theorize and speculate, but I don't think that camera was malicious so much as just, like, she left that drawer open in episode 1 or 2, and she fucked up. Yeah. They wanted to make sure she ain't stealing, like Arah mentioned. You never know. Rue.
Yeah.
Got in there for some people. So
Rue would have been able to pay Lori back then some with a one.
Rue's like, I'm babysitting Prada, Gucci.
Yeah, but I don't feel like she minds that Maddy's trying her shit on. Like, I don't think she cares. So. I personally would not give a fuck.
Yeah, I think she sees a lot of herself in Maddy. Like in that scene when they're in the pool and they're talking, and Maddy's like, "Yeah, I wasn't gonna." Well, Rue narrating, I wasn't gonna say anything, and then Maddy, 2 glasses of wine later. So yeah, that bitch slept with my boy.
Mood. What a mood.
She's like, oh, I did that before.
Yeah. So and then when you don't tell me that I like you, and when they talk about like bonding over liking to fight people, I was like, oh. And it kind of made it seem like she was like, I was a hoe and housewife, like a really nice housewife.
Yeah.
And even when Maddie's like, oh, I just feel like, when she's like, oh, you guys don't fight or anything like that. And she's like, no, Sebastian and I don't fight. We have a pretty healthy relationship. And you're only 18. Like, it's not the end of the world. You'll be fine. Give it time. You'll find the right person. And I feel like a lot of teenagers need to hear something like that, especially ones that have abusive and toxic relationships. Not even just teenagers, people in general that have been in those situations, especially after what Nate does to her. Yeah. I'm glad she heard that before that happened, because I agree with Nate. Maddy is not dealing with him again. He doesn't seem she would want anything to do with him after that. Like, that was just like too far. Way too far.
I mean,
unnecessary.
I mean, the whole, I don't fucking understand the move with Nate. Like, what was the point of retrieving the disc from Maddy so violently to the point you put a gun to her head, then you played Russian roulette to intimidate her into giving you the disc, for you just to give the disc to Jules? Like, what's the plan?
The thing I could think of with Nate Hard is he kind of says like the after he makes like he does this weird like tour. He goes like from Maddy to Jules to Cassie at the end of it all, like within the night. But he kind of says to Cassie, like, you know, like kind of like he's free now. I think that was the baggage. It was, all right, Maddy has this thing that can hold over me and my family. Got that. I'm gonna give to Jules, and kind of even that conversation he has with Jules kind of pisses me off. Oh God. When he's like, I meant everything I said. Like,
yeah, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's so frustrating. He's like, it's a frustrating character because I feel like he's more like, I think this is a meta commentary moment, that I think Sam sees him as more of like a canvas for like, he can be a villain, but he can also be complex, and that's fine. And I will say, like, the gun scene was like, I was like, really? Fucking Christ, you don't even try to talk first? Like, he probably could have manipulated her into it because he's done it before. Yeah. He manipulates everyone. That's like his whole thing. It's like he's good at that. That's why he's the bad guy in the show. But he didn't even try. He just used brute force, which I think really harkens back to Marsha being like, oh, you choking her out, blah, blah, blah. Good for you. Good job, son. I've never enabled you for your whole life.
Yeah.
But he like didn't even try. Like, there was no reason. It was just like to humiliate her and break her, which is why we'll see Mish come back in the second couple episodes here. Like, we know we're gonna see Travis come back first of all. He's got to be there. He's gonna hold hands with Maddy. I know it. Travis and Maddy are gonna hold hands this season. Two handholds in one season. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all that happiness on Euphoria.
Right.
But Nate like didn't need to do all that. And then he gets in the car with Jules and he's like, I got this for you. It's probably the only nice thing I've done. And I'm like, is it nice? You fucking held a gun to Maddy's head. And then afterwards you're like, lol, it was a car prank.
Right.
Car pranks. It was car pranks, you guys.
And I was just wondering, like, what is he trying to do? Is he trying to get back in with Jules? Is he trying to, was he hoping that she was gonna like find out about the disc and then tell on his dad? Like, what the fuck? And she asks him and he's like, it's better that you don't know.
I guess he didn't know, right? He didn't know what he wanted. And that is something. So like, to go right back to it, like, I do feel bad for the stupid motherfucker, right? Like he says there was that narration from Rue. He woke up happy as he's ever fucking been, pretty much. Like, he even says, he's like, I actually felt pretty fucking good today when I woke up. And like, you're free. You're finally free from your dad's fucking tyrannical reign. But at what cost, right? Like, that doesn't mean you go holding guns to your ex-girlfriend who you've already manipulated and abused in Gaslight's head. You'd think that, like, being nice to Jules doesn't make up for you being a fucker to Maddy and Cassie. And the only reason Cassie hasn't left his ass is because, like, the violence he's executed towards her has been mostly sexual, and she's been able to excuse it, right? The physical violence. The emotional violence, she doesn't know yet. She hasn't realized the emotional violence yet, because, like, even if it's there, she's ignored all the red flags. She's like, red flags? I don't see the color red. I'm colorblind. Ha ha ha. She's gonna, like, see all those like, you're being weird with Jules. You're being weird. You're being fucking violent with Maddy. What the fuck?
Side note, I do agree. I was happy that Jules brought a box cutter into the car with Nate. As she should, because he had a gun there.
Yes, everyone should bring weapons to Nate battles. Holy shit.
Yeah. But I did want to bring up quickly, when you mentioned something about Cal left and Nate was looking through his drawer, like his desk, that where like the DVDs used to be, it said, enjoy being the man of the house. Like, he knew Nate was going to go looking in there. But Cal cleared all.
It's kind of sick. In some aspects, like, it's like a sick, like, you didn't even give. That's the problem with those guys for me. Like, Marsha and Cal, like, you didn't even give any of your all. You didn't even give 10% of your all to your kids. Not even a little. Like, you just, like, gave up. You were just like these weird sociopathic shells of people.
But if they lost the child,
oh my god,
really early at the hands of another,
what if? What
that would make a lot more sense.
Yeah, it definitely would. I think it's Nate's response. I'm just going to put that out there. Nate's fault.
Yeah, agree. Big agree. Okay, what about like the saddest scene in the whole entire episode, Arah?
Just gonna say, let's get there, because as well as I'm going for a while, guys.
Yeah,
that was so heartbreaking. But I liked right before that when Gia goes to sleep in the bed with Rue, and Rue's like, oh, I feel like I don't know anything about you anymore. And she's like, I'll let you know when you get back. Like, that was just so heartbreaking. Like, and then just hearing Leslie, like, and it makes the way they shot it, it's hard to tell if Rue could hear her.
Yeah.
Rue was asleep when this was happening. It was, I don't think Rue was asleep.
To me, it seemed like they were both very awake. Like, it was like fighting through the walls, basically, but it was her mom fighting for Rue. And like, it seemed very much to me like they heard it. Like, 100% to me, they heard it.
It was so sad.
It was awful. It was fucking heart. You know, like, Arah, a couple weeks ago, we talked about, or maybe it was last week, we talked a little bit on and off about like my autoimmune problems and like watching my mother struggle through healthcare shit. And like, dude, I tried to figure out a therapist appointment last week, and my insurance website made it the hardest thing in the world. Like, it literally made it complicated. You know, I'm like, Gray, I'm sure you know from professional things, like you understand how things work in life and places, and like, what the fuck? They like, how many people that are on the edge about to break that can't get help, that go on the website that's supposed to give them help and it doesn't give them help?
Yeah.
Like, my mom used to have to look for shit back in the aughts and early aughts and pre-aughts for like healthcare shit for me. So like that, let alone, you can't just Google it. You can't pull out your fucking S21 Samsung or your iPhone 87 or whatever it is now. I don't know where they're at with the iPhone. I'm an Android user. I don't know how far y'all are, but you can't just do that in 2001. You know, like, you can't just look up rehab centers. You can't just Google inpatient centers, Detroit, Michigan, or inpatient centers, Philly, PA. You can't just do that. No. So, like, it's a lot easier and harder in the same aspects. America's healthcare system specifically, like, especially because you have mental health issues. You can't just, like, if you say heroine, she did a good job. Leslie did a great job leading with heroine, because I know heroine does open a lot of doors.
Oh, actually, take that back. It almost did. I made sure I got that. It starts with opiates
First.
She's like,
heroin sometimes.
Actually, I'm not sure. Mostly just opiates, but it's like, girl, if you gave them the whole, I feel like Jules probably told her, like, just what Elliot said, she's taking benzos, she's taking fentanyl.
You should have spent like everything.
Any drug fine.
You gotta say it all. You gotta tell the truth on that shit. Yeah, because that's what gets you help.
But the thing is, in major cities,
want to admit that.
In major cities, like the drug problem is so out of control. Like there literally isn't beds. No. And then specifically with insurance, if you were inpatient and you checked out, or you were an inpatient with like there's not been a 12-month lapse in between, sometimes they won't pay for it.
Yep.
And I think that might be what's going on with Rue, because she was inpatient and then they're like, oh, like, she can do outpatient, because it's what time do you think has passed since season 1? It's not been a year. It's still the same
6-7 months,
right?
6-7 months. Yeah. Because figure that was the summertime, and now we're
late February.
Yeah.
So that could be what's going on with Rue. Like they're probably like, yeah, we're not gonna.
You're not on a new year. You're not on a new year yet.
It hasn't been 12 calendar months. Like some places will take you, but a lot of times they won't.
One of my really best friends is dealing with a lot of that. And if you don't say heroin, capital H at the front, they won't fuck with you. You know, like, and I get that. I do get that, because it's like capital H is the problem, the biggest problem when it comes to those, like, you know, you might have opiates and that's fine, whatever, that's prescribed by your doctor. They can deal with it. But H, you got heroin, we got to help you. Okay, we get it. But there is that little bit of pride.
She should live because that's deadly.
That's deeper. That's far deeper.
Yeah. Not like that, but you wonder, like, did she see a back on her arm? If because obviously, like, when Lori
shooting up,
she had her arm was bruised.
Like you said last week, Arah, that like Lori was looking. She was not just like poking for a vein. She was poking for fun to make sure that like Rue would have no one. Everyone would quit Rue. Everyone would say, "You're a piece of shit, Rue. Look at your arm. Fuck you." Everyone would say, but that was the biggest contrast this episode. And like one of the most grateful things for this episode was seeing that there was hope for Rue because of that. Like that felt so hopeless last week. So seeing that like there was forgiveness for Rue, there were people that were ready to love her with open arms. That was a lot. That was special.
Yeah,
on her arm.
Yeah, from the doctor from ER.
I actually want to, like, if I could beat the shit out of one person in this series, like, it wouldn't actually be Nate. It would be Laurie or whatever, the drug dealer bitch.
It'd be her.
Yeah, I'd fuck her up.
I'd sell tickets to it, probably.
I'd be like, record this for the stream.
I'd put it on World Star. I'd sell it to World Star. I'd sell it to TikTok.
I'd knock her right out of her crap.
Oh my gosh, can we have BB be the ref?
BB would be such a good ref. Oh, this is ref inspired. This is real baby hours. This is like actually Italian colored referee outfit right here.
Somebody brought up monotone voice is so irritating.
That's her voice.
Lori kind of reminds me, somebody's like, she talks like Kourtney Kardashian.
She does.
We can't eat the donuts. Can we have to smell them?
But like that story, like I'm pretty sure there was drug use in her history, and like that is a real thing, like in real life too. Yeah, from what I know about her, she was in Baskets. She's a great actress. She's that's her voice though. That's like her real voice. It's kind of like the opposite of Kristen Shaw, right? The voice actress of Louise on Bob's Burgers. It's like that's Kristen Shaw's real voice is hello, blah, 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 where that's literally Laurie's voice. That's her actress's voice, which is interesting. It is interesting, but it works for this character that she's so devoid of.
Yeah, because it makes her super creepy, like how Roose Bolton's voice is.
She's the Roose Bolton of Euphoria. Her blades, her needles are sharp.
Her needles are sharp.
I love that. I guess we're gonna talk. Let's get into some predictions. It looks like we have to play next week. We do have to play next week, but you pointed this out earlier, and I got excited. And I wanted to bring it back about Lexi getting a little bit close to Ethan. I could see Kat and Maddy being like, "Those damn Howard girls stealing our men."
Oh yeah.
Especially like the Maddie's face, and I love when they show the little doppelganger actors. It's so funny when they're like, she's like, "Is this about us?" Like,
I love the shot of Maddy enjoying it. Next week is going to be one for the ages. Lexi is the Scorsese of her time. She is infiltrating the boys' club and making it her own with her lens and her perspective of bringing the sidekick to the front, bringing the camera from off the page to on the page. I really respect this. It's the only thing I care about next week is Fezco being there, and he's not going to be there, is what it looks like from the trailer. If you watch the trailer, looks like he sent roses, he's wearing a suit, and then I think he's going to get raided the night of Lexi's play, which is some bullshit. And Lexi's going to be heartbroken. It's going to suck. I don't want it. I don't want this, but that's what's going to happen next week. I saw the preview. I mean, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not rocket science. If it was,
things are happy.
I mean, that'd be good for me if it was rocket science and I understood it, but it's not. It's
also
storytelling.
When Nate and Cassie walk down the hall together.
Oh God.
She's half Jules, half Maddy. She's unstoppable.
She's everything more. It makes me mad. But yeah, no, I really still. How did? Because Sydney said she broke her toe by Alexa in a scene that they shot.
It's gotta be next week.
Where is the scene? Where is?
We thought it was tonight. Gray, where is the scene?
Next week.
You think it's gonna happen? You think they're gonna fight? We saw. Wait. We did see the shot of her going to the bathroom and her be like, "Maddy, or Cassie, open the fucking door." We saw that shot in the trailer, I think, right? Or somewhere. There's a still where she's like, "Open the door." Is it gonna be like a background, like a flash backward real quick thing, or what?
I think there's gonna be a confrontation between those two.
Definitely. If after the play, she's like, "I'm not even gonna beat your ass. Your sister kind of just humiliated you entire student body." So that's good enough for me.
How Lexi gonna release a burn book? That girl, she's my daughter. I love her.
And she was like having second thoughts. Having second thoughts this episode too. She was like, "I don't know if she's gonna like it." And that's when Fez is like, "If it's like Stand By Me, everybody's gonna love it," because he's a supportive lover boy.
Yeah. I respected that he was like, "It doesn't matter," and he's like, "There's always going to be haters, no matter what you do, Lexi. Like, as someone's feelings are always going to get hurt, you just have to do it." Because like Fezco is very, of all the characters, and we've talked about, if you haven't watched it, Arah's video with her buddies about the zodiac signs of the characters is so good, and it's so insightful. You have to watch it. But like that alone, like Fezco is like, he's been there for motherfuckers, and motherfuckers never been there back. You know what I mean? Like they never came back for him. Look at Rue. Rue show up when she needs something.
Rue treats him so terrible.
So bad. So bad.
To Fez.
But that's exactly it. Like him and Lexi have found that connection where he's like teaching her shit about life. She's teaching him shit about life he didn't know. Yeah. And that's healthy no matter what. Like even when he goes to jail and he's like, "Can't be with you, baby girl," or even when he dies, who knows what'll happen.
Cut it out.
When all that happens, like it was such a relationship they could grow from, even in a little time. That's beautiful. Yeah. She's gonna put a play out because of him.
Oh my gosh, what if the next play she writes is about her and Fez's love story? That's why when he was like, "Oh, you should put in your play when I beat Nate's ass."
Romeo and Juliet.
That'll be her second play. Her second piece of work is tribute to Fez.
But Shakespearean tragedy.
But Doth, what light comes through the holes in Nate Jacobs' head?
Really cool.
I thought you were gonna say something about Happy New Year, Playboy, because I was like, that would have been hilarious.
That too, though.
I'm with Basket Case. Protect Fez at all costs.
Lexco has to be saved. We have to save Lexco forever. I don't know what to do because, like, I know it's tragic, and I think I've done my grieving already. You know what I mean? Like, when something dies that you love, sometimes if you know it's gonna die ahead of time, you could do your grieving ahead of time, which means that, like, the aftermath of bitches dying is half as sad. So maybe I'm sad now, so I won't be as sad later, is my big mathematical hope of it all.
It'll be the bells all over again for me. If
Bitch.
I was gonna say a really cool quote, and then you said how to go over that shit.
Well, Arah, fix it. Arah, fix it. Please, 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 please.
What is grief? What is grief? Not love, persevering, vision.
WandaVision.
That's how I feel about you, Arah. Fuck you. I hope you don't. It's bullshit. That is how it feels. It feels fatedly bad, and I'll drink to that.
Yeah, same.
Y'all are making me fucking sad.
I'm so sad all the time.
All right. On a happy note, all right. Before we leave for the night, just question for you guys: who do you guys think Ethan's playing in this play?
Nate.
Like what character?
Oh, he Nate.
Nate.
Oh, he Nate now.
What if he plays McCray?
McKay.
McKay.
That is cultural appropriation, Ethan. You're canceled.
It's woke. It's so woke. I'm just kidding.
Lexi, what is this play about?
Could you imagine that he played McKay? I would pass out.
I don't know. I think Nate. But McKay would be hysterical. He would not be good at that. Ethan can't play football.
I don't know who Ethan's gonna play.
Yeah, because it seems like he has like a leading role.
Maybe he plays like Cassie's ex-boyfriend that she had before McKay.
Oh, the one that
because the plays I feel is gonna be about Cassie, Lexi, that dynamic.
What if it's their dad?
Yo, but that's the thing is like
so
Lexi said shit about like how Cassie lets people treat her, right? Like the same with Nate. Like she straight up said, she's like, he made fun of you for years and now you're fucking him? What's wrong with you? I mean, I think it's gonna be a lot of that Nate shit in some aspects. I think Lexi's gonna have a rewrite. That's my prediction.
A last minute rewrite.
Fuck all the bitches that didn't believe in me, Lexi says.
I can't wait to see. I cannot wait. I want an extended cut. I want like a full play. Like the whole thing. I want all of it. And if it's a musical and actually not play, because it looks like it's a musical. I'm here for it.
And Z just said in the chat, there's a locker room set up on stage. Ethan was half naked dancing in the promo, Def playing Nate. Hold on. Not only was he dancing in the promo, he was dancing around a giant cock. There was a giant phallic symbol. Why did that principal just let Lexi do? Anyways, but...
Oh, what if she outs Nate during the
Cal?
play?
What if she outs Nate and Cal? What if Lexi
does she know?
I don't think she knows about Cal unless Fez recently
she
told
said
her.
She did. To Cassie.
I thought
now that was a sister thing. I don't have sisters, but it seemed like a sister thing where you're like, yeah, I know. Do you? Like that was how it seemed, but
like I don't trust you. Yeah.
It also seemed like maybe Fez has gotten a little more intimate verbally with her and been like, girl, wait till you hear all this drama with Jules, and Cal.
Oh, he told her like Cal came over here after.
I think he told her.
Because the last time she saw him was at the gas station when Cal came,
and he acknowledged he knew Lexi, and he said, "Did she tell you why I'm here, or who I am, or something like that?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, nope. Just buying some chips.
Oh, I wonder if Nate and Cassie are going to be at the play.
Oh, Nate's audience. So I'm assuming
Nate's there. Maddy's there. We haven't seen a picture of Cassie yet. Believe it or not. Like we've seen the rest, but we have not seen Cassie there. Wonder if Cassie's gonna
runs off.
Yeah, she's gonna run out.
Classic Cassie.
Yeah.
All right, Gray, what's your final prediction for next week? What do you got? Final.
I think the play is going to be so much drama. Like, I just feel like there's going to be drama. Like, I just feel, do you ever remember when you were in school and like shit was brewing?
Mm-hmm.
And like when events would let out, like basketball games would let out, there was like drama, or like when the auditorium would let out, there was like drama in the hallways. I think we might get a scene like that.
Yeah.
Some massive hallway drama after the play.
So I'm going to piggyback off of yours. This could be a wild theory. I think depending on how Maddy and Kat are depicted in this play, they're going to say something to Lexi. Because they already don't like you. So they're just going to be like, shh, you Howard chicks. List. And that wasn't cool, what you did.
Maddy looked like happy though in the picture of her. Like she looked like laughing. I think it's gonna be so mean to Cassie that Maddy's gonna love it.
Yeah,
that would work. That's what as long as they play, like if Cassie's like the villain of the play, I think they're all gonna love it.
There you go. There you go.
Jules is probably just gonna be like, oh god.
I feel like I feel like Lexi is going to villainize Cassie a little bit, but at the end of the day, that's her sister, and she loves her sister. Yeah. So I think at the end, she may make some and she's really fucking smart. Lexi's really fucking smart. So I think she may make some like philosophical, like redemption arc kind of thing for her sister.
That's sweet.
And maybe villainize Nate
like that.
Oh my god, great! That's so sweet. You hate Cassie. That's so sweet. I love you. I'm so proud of you. This is literally just like, listen, Gray. This is just like Sansa Stark all over again, and I really love you, and I just want you to know.
I have a lot of cancer placements. I feel sorry for Cassie.
That's how I feel too. Like I'm like, girl, you were predisposed to bullshit. It's not your fault. You're a piece of shit. It's just most of your fault.
But you are a piece of shit. But
you are 90% your own doing, but 10% everyone else's. Okay, and that 10% is wild.
Yes.
Yeah.
And shamelessly plug my 1,000 subscriber thing. Cassie, spoiler, is definitely a Cancer. If you didn't know, now you know.
Yeah.
But
I could see.
It's been fun. I was gonna say it's fun time talking to you guys. I'm talking to you guys. If you guys haven't checked it out already. Me and MJ Gray, right there.
Me.
Co-host on another podcast, Preposterous AF. We drop new episodes every Monday. Our Valentine's Day special is out, available on all the podcast platforms. So go listen to that. And Chloe has a podcast that she hosts with Elliot.
That pug, that girl right pug.
That pug right there.
The girl pug.
Yeah, we do A Song of Ice and Fire. We do it a little different. We remix it. We do point of view character at a time. Right now, we're covering all of Sam Tarley's chapters. We also cover his Dark Materials, the books. We're on Amber Spyglass. We're almost done with the main trilogy. We're like 7 chapters away, but we also cover the show, and we're doing a lot of cool stuff with the show over at our Discord, everywhere. So check us out. We're not on YouTube because YouTube is, you know how they are. It's a long story, but YouTube don't want us, so that's okay. That's all right. We're everywhere else though. So Girls Gone Canon, CANON. Come find us. Come hang out. Thanks for listening, guys.
Dude, are you guys gonna cover House of the Dragon?
Listen, we did the Dance of the Dragons from Fire and Blood. As soon as it came out, Eliana and I were riveted. We were like, these dumb bitches are so dumb, and we got to talk about all of them. So we did the entire Dance of the Dragons over at our Patreon. We might release some of those episodes when the show comes out, but we've been doing this really cool thing on Discord. Our Discord is a little private only just because we don't have the capacity. We're only 2 people, we're 2 moms. Adopting children is a lot. We only adopt so many. So Thunder tier patrons, $10 patrons and above at patreon.com/girlsgonecanon have access to Discord where we hold events. We do a brunch monthly where everybody, if you drink, people drink. If you have a snack, people have a snack. We play Jackbox games. We bullshit. We talk ASWAF, HDM, etc. Weekly right now,
I'm joining the Discord. I want a brunch.
Baby, I'm gonna get you a link tonight. I got tonight, baby. I got you. I'm gonna get both of you. It's like not to inventing Anna. It's an exclusive place, Gray. It's an exclusive place.
Soho House.
It's like Soho House, but for Iswaf. But we're doing like weekly. Like one of our patrons, Pete, he's doing such a fun His Dark Materials rewatch right now. So if you're watching His Dark Materials, you want to watch it, please watch it. We're in the middle of season 1. Series 1. Sorry, British people. Series 1. And we're all just like watching it, coming to the chat on Saturdays and just bullshitting about the episode. And then I think we're going to do Hot D the same way. We're going to do some guest patron hosts that are going to do like a Discord hangout where we just like bullshit about Hot D on the Discord. There's no be yourself, unless yourself sucks, be better than that. But be yourself.
Unless you're Nate.
I'm not great either. Like, I mean, I make fun of Nate Jacobs, but I'm not awesome. So I try to be cooler than I am too. You know what I mean? But it's fun. Discord's kind of cool. Ashtray knows. Call Ashtray. Hit him up before he goes to, foster care. And who said that?
I just want to say thank you, Mon Mary, for the super chat. Happy Love Day or Valentine's Day to everybody out there. I hope you guys had a wonderful Gossip Girl. But no, another note, we got 2 episodes left.
What are we gonna do?
That is a great question, but we'll figure that out next time. It's been awesome hanging with everybody, and I'm gonna do that thing where I try to press the end broadcast button and I don't know what I'm doing until it ends. So bye.
Thank you guys. We love you so much. See you next